Welcome to SDH's Weekend Review. Everything going on in Major League Soccer. We'll take you through all of the scores, get you up to date on your standings in the East and the West, let you know about the very, very busy week that's going to be going on with Open Cup and teams turning around having to play on the weekend. We'll hear from a lot of the coaches, and we'll hear some of the sights and sounds from the last weekend of Major League Soccer, Matchweek 9. So let's start things off with the early matchups, your 7:30s on your Saturday night. And Philadelphia ahead early, coasted 4-2 win over Toronto FC. Michael Ua with the hat trick at a -156 on the board. Next match, DC United having problems scoring in general. So what happens when they go to Orlando? They score. They get 3 on the board, and we all know how difficult it is to win on the road in Major League Soccer. DC United did that in Central Florida at a +265. Here's Wayne Rooney after the match, courtesy of DC United, their own selves.
Yeah, I think we've obviously got good players. We've made good signings, and as I said earlier in the season, it'll take a bit of time for them to all to gel, of course. And first half, I didn't like the performance at all. First half, we were sloppy in possession, gave too many easy balls away, and caused ourselves problems, and really got involved in a transition game, which I didn't want. I felt. After analysing Orlando, I felt we could really control the game, and then second half, I thought it was completely different. We had some really good spells just before the second goal. Then obviously get the third, and I thought our game management again was excellent. So no, I think it was a strong performance, and I deserve 3 points.
Seeing Donovan and Benteke, two guys with size, score those goals, how did you envision using them in such situations?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time yesterday on set plays because we know we're a big team, and we had different, set plays which we can turn to, which we did. We have 4 set plays for tonight, which I felt could really hurt Orlando, and thankfully Donovan gets his first goal, which delighted for him. So yeah, I think we're a strong team, big team on set play, so we need to make sure we use that to our advantage.
NYCFC beat FC Dallas on the Bronx at a -119, 3-1. Revs continue their winning ways out of the blocks at the top of the East, beating a rough Sporting Kansas City side 2-1 at a +104. FC Cincinnati continues to put the hurt on the Portland Timbers early this year, winning by the score of 2-1 at a -175. Charlotte also having problems offensively. Columbus trying to win on the road. Charlotte got the win at a +131. Here's your highlights with Jess and Willie P., courtesy of our friends at WFNZ.
Him and Josviak. Vargas approaches, looking toward a leading ball. A head by Tui Loma, and he couldn't put it home. It went into the hands of Patrick Schulte. Played to the near side on a curling ball. Nicely done for Josviak. He's onside. Josviak with a cross into the area. One-touch volley. He scores! Karol Swiderski from Kamil Josviak. The inverse of last week, as Josviak with a one-touch volley to Karol to open the scoring at the bank. Sending it near side. Got behind the man. Oh, he couldn't put it in on the near side, did Josviak, but he couldn't get the finish. It went off the side of the cage. Played by Swiderski near side to Capetti. Capetti with a chance behind his man. Pulled down from behind. It will be a free kick right around the arc. And we are going to see what looks like possibly the first booking. Or no, they're going to say offside. Mata with a one-touch shot. Save made by Marks. From about 18 yards out, Marks makes the save easily with 2 hands up at his head and holds everything to wait Charlotte having to clear basically every part of the zone. Capetti at the top of the box, leaving it for a run for Bender. Bender with a chance in the area, pulls it back, Bender with a shot, it's blocked down. Bender with it still now. Left-footed shot, it's saved by Patrick Schulte. Russell Rose sending it into the area towards Morris. Morris a shot, and they score! Oh, they're going to VAR. They're going to send the VAR. He could get a beer from everybody in Charlotte. No goal! The goal disallowed because of offside. Knocked away by Mackenzie Gaines. Sent in by Farsi. A head in on, and a save made by Marks on a head in from Zelarayan. Marks going to ground to make the save, and also putting a little extra on the end of it to try and get the fans away. Herrera sending it forward to Jason Russell Rowe. Rowe has it knocked away, and that is it! The crowd belongs to Charlotte! Charlotte FC with its first home victory of 2023 as they defeat the Columbus Crew 1-0.
Speaking about how difficult it is to win, just in general, not just on the road or at home, but CF Montreal, bottom of the standings in the East. They were a home underdog at a plus 241. The draw going in a plus 224. Red Bulls coming to Stade Saputo at a plus 121. So guess what happened? CF Montreal won and even scored their second of the match, a man down with Mathieu Choinière. Here's Hernan Losada after the match discussing what it was like, as Choinière seems to be the personification of what Hernan Losada wants, and that was where the conversation started, courtesy of our friends at CF Montreal, their own selves.
Oui, bien sûr. Pas seulement parce qu'on a gardé les 3 points à domicile, on a gardé les 0 derrière, et on a joué 20 minutes.
A guy like Choinière, who's been really important for you from the beginning of the year, and then today, just an outstanding match from him. Was that what you envisioned when you talked about a fighting spirit?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is, for me, the minimum standard of a good, positive mentality that every team needs to take points in this league. And on top of that, of course, we will try to play our style of play. We will try to play our philosophy. We will try to build up from the back. We will try to find our creative players between the lines. But you will have days where you don't feel so good, where maybe your confidence is not too high, where the opponent sometimes even is better than you. So the minimum, the standard is this type of fighting spirit, the same fighting spirit that I've been seeing every single day on training. But because we are with so many new pieces, with so many young players getting the first minute for the first time ever, this demands a little bit of a time. And when you're coming from such a successful season like last year, it's also kind of normal that everyone slow down a little bit. Your confidence is like, we already did it. We are one of the best ones. And this year is a complete new year with 11 new players, with a new coaching staff, with a lot of new pieces. So you need to, your motivation and your focus and your concentration needs to be like you're starting from scratch. And that maybe at the beginning was not there. And we had many talks with the leaders of the group, and they understood that we were expecting a little bit more from them. And the reaction from them today was exceptional. So this, to me, has to be the base every time we're playing a game, either home or away.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
While it wasn't perfect, do you feel maybe there were parts of the game where things just clicked or just worked really well together?
Can you repeat again, please?
Were parts of the game where really things got, clicked or really worked together,
I think there were moments, especially during the first half, we had a first 10, 15 minutes a little bit difficult. And after that, we were finding the free man. We were switching from side to side real quick. I think on transition, we create a lot of danger. That's also something that I want to kind of implement more and more. Those are the moments that the opponent is disorganized. So the first pass after recovering the ball, the first thought in your head has to be to play forward. You don't find that first pass forward, then we keep the ball in the team and we build up again. But transition is the future and the present for both sides, offensive and defensive. And when we improve in those two phases of the game, I think we're going to get even better.
Nashville SC and LAFC draw at ones at a plus 231. Houston Dynamo at a minus 120. Beat Inter Miami at Shell Energy 1-0. Here's Ben Olsen on the crowd after the match.
It's some time to prepare for us. They were prepared, and they're a good team. And we feel great about the win.
RSL over San Jose 3-1 at a plus 104 at Rio Tinto. The Rapids and St. Louis City SC drew at ones in Commerce City, Colorado at a plus 270. Here's Bradley Carnell, the head coach of St. Louis City SC after the match.
We knew coming into this game that it's going to be a real tough game. We knew we were going to have to learn to suffer in certain moments, especially based on, Robin's last couple of results. They've had a real good run, and we knew we were going to have moments of fatigue and fight and learn to suffer as a group. And we saw that in the first half. To keep the clean sheet in the first half, Roman comes up trumps really strong. And I thought it was a great second sort of half start to come out the blocks flying. Set the tone. We felt the longer the game went on, the more we would take a handle on the game, and I think you could see that in certain moments. And then once again, we just go into the small moments of fatigue, and we have to get caught chasing substitutions and making sure that we try and survive at the end there. But all in all, very proud of the boys. 1 point. Colorado game's always tough. They're never the prettiest, and we move on from there.
Thanks, Coach. We'll open the floor for questions. We'll start off with Santiago, then go to Tom Timmerman, then Ben Hockman.
Good evening, Bradley. Can you talk about the adjustments you made at the beginning of the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we just thought we were losing a little bit of the shape and the structure, a little bit. We know we have a game coming up on Tuesday, so we had to strategically manipulate and move a few pieces. So when Indy comes on, he just gives us a little bit more flexibility with and without the ball. I thought he was excellent in both phases of the game and showed a lot of energy, and that's exactly what we needed to come out in that second half. So, and then as the game moves on, we have to make a couple of adjustments, and later on in the game, we could see they bring on 4 substitutions all at once. And then we get caught in a formational battle and a formational war, of which we try to counter that with Samuel Pedro and Celio Pompeu operating as the wingbacks in a back 5. So I think both teams could have won it, both teams could have lost it. I think we go away here with a tie, and we get ready for Tuesday.
Late starts, 10:30 Eastern Time. Seattle shuts out Minnesota United by the score of 1-0 at a -147. Brian Schmetzer, in his opening statement, had a little fun in the dressing room after the big Cascadia loss and went through some of the big numbers from the match and the win.
In case you missed that.
We're right on schedule here, and it's going swimmingly. I think we should do an opener.
I think I should do an opener.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I should do an opener. So, one of the highlights of my evening, and I can say this, I'll give you a little insight into the locker room prior to the game. I didn't know how the team was going to react after the, debacle in Portland. And I didn't know if the players were going to put too much pressure on themselves. Didn't know if, they would react, with their brains as much. I knew their hearts were in it. I knew they were going to come out and give me energy and all that. But sometimes coaches get nervous, and sometimes you want to lighten the mood. And when Nuhu, came up with the migraines, and it's, Kellen stepped in, it's a little bit of drama, a little bit of, okay. And so to lighten the mood and to kind of give Kellen Rowe a shout out, I said, well, look, okay, Nuhu does this, but Kellen can do this with his right foot. He can play Leo in behind, and using Kellen's speed is going to be important in the game. And I don't know if the guys really truly appreciated the joke. I thought it was funny until after the game, when, and I want to go on record. Kellen Rowe has 350 appearances in MLS play. All comps. I mean, that is a tremendous career for a guy from Federal Way. I couldn't be prouder of him coming back home and, doing exactly what we need at the right time. I think that's a really success story, and I couldn't be prouder of the kid, the young man, the old guy, the experienced guy. Sorry, Kellen, the experienced man. Congrats to him. And then the other thing, and I'm sure someone like Jeremiah is going to ask me this, but 5 shutouts at home is a club record. 5 consecutive. And I'm very proud of that because we had discussed that, we had messaged it publicly, internally about, making sure that Lumen Field is a place where teams cannot steal points off of us. And, so far so good. 5 shutouts at home. I'm very impressed with that. That doesn't just mean Steph, but that means, Hebert, Raul, Freddie, Jordan came on, good energy. Dylan Tevis had a good game when he came on, being aggressive, pressing higher up the field. JP, obviously, Jackson, Yaimar. It was a good defensive effort tonight.
And then speaking about a big win that was needed, LA Galaxy 2-0 win over Austin FC. And a lot of folks are raising their eyebrows right now about the Verde, who came in at a plus 346, did not get any offense on the board, and lose by 2. Here's Greg Vanny after the match and the win.
Feel pretty good about that. Overall, your thoughts on the night, especially the 3-5-2 formation. What did you like? What you got out of that? What did you like about it?
Yeah, first I thought it was a very solid professional performance for much of the night. I thought we did a great job of finding good spots and being able to play through their lines and be able to create attacks. First half, we had a lot of attacks that looked really promising that we weren't able to really get something out of, but I thought that we were in really good spots and very difficult for them to pick up on us, and from that I thought we were able to control a lot of the play and again be dangerous in moments where again just a little more efficiency, a little more connection in the final action. We probably get something out of that half, but in the end we stayed solid defensively for the most part. JK had one or two early that I can recall that were good saves, but again I thought against a good team that knows how to attack, they're a good team with good players. You're going to have to manage some moments through the course of the game. The second half, I think, again, was more of the same, and we found some opportunities in transitions and some other opportunities to get ahead of the game. And this is, aside from maybe Dallas early, that we gave the goal back pretty quickly, if I recall. This is the first time we've been up a goal in the game. And, as I've said, if we can get up in games, then gaps and spaces are going to open up, transitions are going to open up for us, things like that for us to be able to get the second, and we were. We probably left a couple on the table that maybe we could have gotten, but beggars can't be choosers right now. We take it and the 3 points and grow from it.
Sunday afternoon, Atlanta United over Chicago Fire in a smash and grab, as the voice of Atlanta United, Mike Conti, said, at 90+9 at 90:09. An own goal by Haile Selassie. Juanjo Purata was the nearest Atlanta United player there, but 1-0 lead on a goal by Giacomakis. Coming back in the 90th to draw it at 1 was Chicago, 90+9. Second time this year that Atlanta United has scored at 90+9. According to Opta, that hadn't happened in 14 years. 2 at 90+9, period. Atlanta United had 2 this season, so Atlanta United gets the win with a final of 2-1. So your standings in Major League Soccer going in the Western Conference, starting things out with West and work our way east. St. Louis City is at 19 points along with Seattle Sounders, and LAFC is at 18 points. As you work your way through the standings here, FC Dallas is 4th, but there's a bit of a gap at 14 points when it comes to life in the West. St. Louis and Seattle, goal difference right now, St. Louis City's only ahead by 1 goal, +11 to +10. LAFC at 18 points is also at a +10. Dallas ahead of San Jose by 1 goal in goal difference. That gets you to Houston in 6th at 13 points. Minnesota's at 11 points. Vancouver's at 10. Salt Lake north of the playoff bar with 9 points with a record of 3-5 so far. Below the playoff bar, Portland, Austin, and Colorado all with 8 points. Portland ahead of Austin on goal difference. Austin ahead of Colorado in wins. L.A. and Kansas City. L.A. with that second win of the year is at 6. The first win of the year, 6 points total. 1 win, 3 draws. Kansas City, 3 points on the year in 9 matches. 0-6-3 and a goal difference of -10. Eastern Conference right now. New England and Cincinnati both at 20 points with identical 6-1-2 records. New England ahead on goal difference by a total of 5. Atlanta, 3rd at 18 points, and New York City FC is at 15, Columbus at 14, Nashville at 12. Philly, D.C., and Orlando each at 11 points. Philly ahead of D.C. on goal difference. D.C. has goals scored at 11-8. Below the playoff bar, Chicago at 10 points with a record of 2-4. Charlotte at 9 points ahead of Toronto with wins. at 2 wins compared to 1, and Red Bull at 8 points, and Inter Miami's at 6 points, and they're ahead of Montreal on goal difference, -3 to -12. Now the schedule. Schedule's going to be interesting because, once again, you have schedule compression because of Open Cup and a lot of activity going on. Tuesday, Charlotte is going up against South Georgia Tormenta, and this one is at Matthews Stadium in suburban Charlotte in Mecklenburg County, and got to keep an eye on that one. Some of the matches have juice boxes, some of them do not. Minnesota United is at Keyworth to take on Detroit City. New England Revolution hosting Hartford Athletic. St. Louis City SC is taking on Union Omaha at 8 o'clock Eastern on your Tuesday. Sporting Kansas City hosting Tulsa Athletic at 8:30 Eastern. San Jose's at Monterey Bay. That one's scheduled for Cardinal. And you also have the first leg of the semifinal on the right-hand side of the bracket in CONCACAF Champions League, Tigres and León, as the other two teams, L.A. and Philadelphia, keeping an eye on that one before they play on Wednesday. Also, Open Cup. Cincinnati hosting Louisville, and that one is at TQL Wednesday night at 7. Atlanta United taking on Memphis 901 in Kennesaw at 7:30. Columbus Crew against Indy 11. DC United and Richmond Kickers at Audi Field. The Miami FC in Boca Raton taking on Inter Miami, traveling all the way from Fort Lauderdale. Houston Dynamo at Tampa Bay Rowdies. You have Chicago Fire hosting Chicago House. Nashville SC at 8:30 hosting San Antonio FC. Sneaky game there at Geodis. Colorado hosting Northern Colorado and Amon Zayed in the Hailstorm. 9 o'clock Eastern kick there on Wednesday. And you have Philadelphia and LAFC, both teams with byes now in the upcoming weekend of action after they play in CONCACAF Champions League. 9 o'clock Eastern at Subaru Park in Chester Wednesday night. RSL at 10 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday is against Vegas Lights. And you also have Seattle hosting San Diego Loyal at Starfire at 10. Timbers hosting Orange County SC at Providence Park at 10:30. Now that leads us to Saturday. And here's where we are right now with schedule. We'll go over juice boxes in a bit. Atlanta United is the late game on Sunday. They play Wednesday at Open Cup, and they're at Geodis for the early game, 1:30 Eastern on Saturday afternoon on Apple TV and on Fox on the free side. Columbus and Inter Miami on the free side of Apple TV at 7:30. DC United hosting Charlotte, free side of Apple TV. New England Revs hosting FC Cincinnati on MLS Season Pass. Orlando hosting LAG on MLS Season Pass. Toronto hosting NYCFC on MLS Season Pass. 8:30 Austin at home on MLS Season Pass against San Jose. Chicago at home against Red Bull on MLS Season Pass. Sporting Kansas City hosting CF Montreal on MLS Season Pass. Free side of Apple TV, St. Louis City SC and Portland Timbers. RSL at Rio Tinto, 9:30 Eastern hosting Seattle on MLS Season Pass. Vancouver at 10:30 is the late game hosting Colorado Rapids on MLS Season Pass. Your late game Sunday on FS1 and on Apple on the free side is Minnesota hosting Dallas. Open Cup numbers that we do have involving MLS sides. On Tuesday, Minnesota United a -130, only going to Keyworth. Detroit City's a +290. Revs a -263, hosting Hartford Athletic, who are north of +550. St. Louis City is a -385, hosting the Murder Owls at +840. And San Jose on the road at +104, going to Cardinal to take on Monterey Bay. In MLS this upcoming weekend, and once again, these numbers will fluctuate greatly. Early on Saturday, Nashville is a +116 at home. Atlanta United's a +220. Crew a -147 hosting Inter Miami, who's almost a +400. DC United a -111 as Charlotte is a +281. Revs a +110. FC Cincinnati's a +2.25 in the composite, courtesy of our friends at Odds Portal. Orlando City a +120. LAG's a +214. Toronto FC favored at home against NYCFC at a +133. NYCFC's almost a +200 right now. 8:30. Austin FC's a -101, hosting San Jose at a +256. Fire at 8:30 are a +143, hosting Red Bulls, who are basically a +200. Sporting a -108 as CF Montreal comes to town at a +275. St. Louis City SC a -120 as Portland is north of +300. RSL at 9:30 is a plus 165 as a home dog to Seattle, who's a plus 152. Whitecaps at 10:30 hosting Colorado. The Whitecaps are a minus 132. The Rapids are a plus 344. Minnesota United on Sunday night, plus 129 at Allianz. FC Dallas is a plus 200. So that's your quick look at everything that has happened and will happen. Schedule compression, the words for the wise coming up in the next little bit. So that is your quick update with everything going on in Major League Soccer, and we'll keep you posted every single day on SDH, going from 9:05 Eastern Time. For everybody here at the network, for Jason, for Jarrett, for Nick, I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy your action in MLS. It's coming fast and furious as we go.